Chosen one, stop scrolling for a moment. This is not an accident. What you are hearing right now is not random, and it is not meant for everyone. This is a divine interruption, a holy pause designed specifically for you. There are moments when heaven speaks loudly, and there are moments when it speaks softly but urgently. This is one of those moments. Something has been written into time, and today you have stepped into it without even realizing it. Not because you were looking for a sign, but because a sign was looking for you. Somewhere right now, a soul is struggling under a weight they can no longer carry. Their battle is silent. Their prayers are not shouted in public or posted for sympathy. They are whispered late at night when no one is watching, spoken with trembling faith and exhausted hope. Those prayers have risen, not lost in the air, but carried straight into the presence of God. And heaven has answered those prayers in an unexpected way. Not with thunder, not with spectacle, but with a person, with you. You were not chosen because you are perfect. You were not chosen because you have all the answers or because your life is flawless. You were chosen because your heart is rare, because you understand pain without needing it explained, because you know what it feels like to hold it together on the outside while fighting battles on the inside. There is a quiet strength in you, one that does not seek attention or applause. A strength that shows up, stays present, and carries light into dark places without needing recognition. That is why heaven trusts you. The pull you feel in your spirit right now is not emotion. It is alignment. It is the moment when what has been hidden begins to surface and what has been dormant begins to awaken. Something inside you recognizes this call, even if your mind is still trying to catch up. That sense of familiarity, like you have heard this before or felt this before, is not imagination, it is remembrance. Your spirit remembers what your mind has forgotten. This moment has been approaching you for longer than you realize. There is a reason you are still listening. There is a reason your attention has not wandered. Heaven is not shouting at you. It is inviting you into purpose, into obedience, into something sacred that carries eternal weight. You may feel unqualified. You may feel tired. You may feel like you barely have enough strength to hold your own life together, let alone help someone else. But God is not asking you to give what you do not have. He is asking you to give what you already carry: compassion, presence, willingness. Right now, the Spirit of God is stirring something within you. You may not fully understand it yet, but you feel it. A gentle urgency, a quiet knowing, the sense that this is more than encouragement. This is instruction. This is not about coincidence. It is about calling. The timing of this message is not random. You did not arrive here by chance. You were led. You have been carrying light even when you did not realize it. A light shaped by your own trials, refined by disappointment, strengthened by survival. And now that light is being positioned for purpose. Someone is standing at the edge of giving up, and they do not need a sermon. They do not need solutions. They need a sign that they are seen, that they are remembered, that their life still matters. And heaven has chosen you to be that sign. You may wonder why God would choose you when you feel so ordinary. But God has always used ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things. He chooses those who will listen, those who will respond, those who will move when the moment comes. And this moment is coming now. The stirring in your heart is not pressure. It is preparation. You are being made ready even as you listen. There is something sacred about this timing, something holy about the stillness you feel beneath the words. This is not fear. This is not manipulation. This is recognition. The recognition that your life has meaning beyond what you can see. That your obedience in one quiet moment can shift the course of another person's life and unlock doors in your own. The kingdom of God moves through obedience, not performance. Through availability, not perfection. The truth is, you have been trusted with something precious. A divine appointment is forming, and you are part of it. The same God who sees every tear, who hears every whispered prayer, has looked at you and said, I can trust them. Not because you are strong enough on your own, but because you are willing to move with love. Because your heart is soft enough to respond. If you feel this stirring deep within you, if something in your spirit is saying, "This is for me," then do not ignore it. This is your moment to acknowledge the call, not publicly, not for attention, but internally between you and God. Let your heart say yes, even if your mouth is still silent. Because when you say yes, heaven begins to move. You are not here by accident. You are not listening by chance. This moment was written, and you have stepped into it. And what you do next matters more than you realize. Listen carefully, because what I am about to say is not general encouragement. It is specific, and it is meant for you. There is someone already tied to your life. Someone you know, someone whose name or face has quietly been surfacing in your thoughts. They are not random. They are not distant. They are woven into your story by divine intention. Their struggle is not visible, but it is real, and it has reached a breaking point. Heaven has seen what they have been carrying, and now heaven is involving you. You may have noticed an unusual heaviness when you think about them. Not guilt, not obligation, but a weight that feels spiritual, a sense that something is wrong even if you cannot explain how you know. That is not imagination, that is discernment awakening. God often reveals assignments through burden before he reveals details. You feel it first because your spirit is being prepared to respond. This person does not need to be fixed. They do not need answers. They do not need you to rescue them or correct them. What they need is presence. They need to know they are not invisible. They need proof that someone sees past the mask, past the strength they perform, past the smile they use to survive. And the reason they have been placed on your heart is because you can offer that kind of presence without judgment. Right now, something powerful is happening in the unseen. The moment you consider responding, the atmosphere around your life begins to shift. Not because of effort, but because of alignment. When you move in obedience, heaven moves in response. This is not just about helping someone else. This is about unlocking something in you that has been waiting for the right moment. You have been asking for breakthrough, for clarity, for movement in areas that have felt stuck. This assignment is connected to those prayers. The kingdom of God operates on a different economy. When you pour out, you are filled. When you lift someone else, you are lifted. When you sow into another person's crisis, you activate harvest in your own life. That is why this feels urgent, not rushed but timely. There are moments that require immediate response, and this is one of them. Delay does not always look like disobedience, but sometimes it produces the same result. You may already feel resistance rising when you think about reaching out. Thoughts like, what if I say the wrong thing? Or what if they don't respond? Or what if I make it worse? That resistance is not wisdom. It is fear, and fear often appears when something significant is about to break loose. The enemy does not fight moments that do not matter. The hesitation you feel is confirmation that your obedience carries weight. This is not a dramatic assignment. It will not look impressive. It will look simple. A message, a call, a quiet check-in, a willingness to listen. That is how God often works. He chooses the small acts because they reveal the heart. He chooses the quiet moments because they expose obedience. This is not about doing something big. It is about doing something real. Slow down and pay attention to what your spirit has already noticed. The person who keeps coming to mind. The one you assumed was fine. The one who always shows up for others but never asks for help. The one whose energy has shifted, whose presence feels different, whose silence feels louder than before. These are not coincidences. These are signals. Heaven is pointing, not shouting. When you reach out, do not carry expectations. Do not demand vulnerability. Do not rush the process. Let your message be an open door, not an interrogation. Something as simple as, "You came to mind today and I wanted to check in," can dismantle walls built over years. Many people are not waiting for solutions. They are waiting for permission to be honest. If they respond, listen without preparing your reply. Let silence do its work. Let them speak at their own pace. Sometimes the most healing thing you can offer is space. Space where they do not have to perform. space where they do not have to be strong, space where they are allowed to tell the truth without being fixed. As you do this, something will begin to shift inside you as well. You may notice a lightness, a clarity, a sense of peace that does not come from understanding but from obedience. This is the exchange of the kingdom. What you release, God replaces. What you carry for someone else, God lifts from you. This is not theory. This is spiritual law in motion. There is also something else you need to understand. The person you are being led to is carrying something connected to your future. Not intentionally, not manipulatively, but spiritually. Their breakthrough and yours are linked in ways you cannot yet see. Hidden within their story is insight, connection, or revelation that you will need in the next season of your life. But it cannot be released while they are trapped in despair. Your obedience creates the environment for that exchange. This is why timing matters. This is a window, not a season. A moment when alignment produces acceleration. When one simple act of obedience opens doors that have been closed for years. What you have been waiting on is closer than you think, but it is activated through compassion, not striving. Do not underestimate what God can do through your willingness. Heaven is not asking for perfection. It is asking for availability. Your role is not to save, your role is to show up. God will handle the rest, and as you move, you will realize that you were never alone in this. Grace will meet you, words will come, peace will settle. If you feel this stirring, if someone's presence is pressing on your heart even now, acknowledge it. You do not need to announce it, just recognize it, because recognition is the first step toward obedience. And obedience is the doorway to everything that is about to change. Now receive this with clarity and calm, because this is where everything comes together. What you are being invited into is not just an act of kindness. It is a divine exchange. Something shifts the moment you decide to obey. Not later, not after you feel confident. The shift begins at the decision. Heaven responds to willingness faster than it responds to preparation. And the moment you say yes, even quietly, movement begins in places you cannot see. The person you are being led to carries more than pain. They carry connection. They carry access. They carry revelation tied to your future. Not because they are powerful, but because God hides treasure in unlikely places. Their struggle is not random chaos. It is pressure before release. And your obedience is the key that opens what has been sealed. When you step into their darkness with love, something in your own life comes into the light. This is how the kingdom works. Every chain you help loosen from them loses its grip on you. Every lie you help them confront is a lie that loses authority over your own mind. Every burden you help carry creates space for God to lift something heavy from your shoulders. This is not symbolic language. It is a spiritual transaction. Giving produces receiving. Serving produces elevation. Compassion produces clarity. You may wonder why resistance increases the closer you get to obedience. Why distractions suddenly appear. Why doubts feel louder. Why unexpected interruptions compete for your attention. This is not coincidence, it is opposition. The enemy does not waste energy on moments that do not matter. He resists where breakthrough is imminent. If you feel pressure, it is because something is about to break. Do not be surprised if you feel unqualified. Do not be surprised if you feel inadequate. God does not call the ready. He readies the called. The wisdom you need will meet you in the moment. The words will come when they are required. The peace you carry will not be manufactured. It will be given. You are not being sent alone. You are being sent covered. As you move forward, expect the natural realm to respond to the spiritual authority you are stepping into. Things you have been waiting on will begin to move. Conversations you have been avoiding will become easier. Doors that felt sealed will begin to open. Provision will come from unexpected places. Restoration will surface where you thought time had erased all possibility. This is not because you earned it. It is because you aligned with heaven's agenda. There is also a bond forming through this obedience. Not casual, not temporary, a covenant connection. People never forget who showed up when they were at their lowest, who listened without judgment, who stayed when it was inconvenient. That kind of loyalty cannot be manufactured. It is forged in mercy, and the one you help now will become a voice of strength in your life later. A prayer partner, an ally, a witness to what God can do through obedience. Your obedience is not only personal, it is generational. What you do now echoes forward. It touches family lines, it heals patterns, it closes doors that have been open for decades. There are cycles ending because of a choice you are making today. There are blessings being released that were delayed by disobedience in previous generations. You are standing at a point of transfer. What you choose now determines what flows next. This is why the moment matters. This is not about drama or emotion. It is about timing. There are windows in the spirit that do not remain open indefinitely. They require response. When you step in, acceleration follows. What took years to delay can shift quickly when obedience aligns with purpose. This is the 0 hour, the moment where small action produces lasting impact. Do not look for applause, do not expect recognition. This assignment is sacred because it is hidden. Heaven rewards what is done in secret. The impact of your obedience will not always be visible immediately, but it will be undeniable. Peace will replace striving. Confidence will replace confusion. Direction will replace delay. You will feel it before you see it. As you move, stay grounded, stay humble, stay attentive. Pray for the person you are helping by name. Cover them consistently. Speak life when they cannot. Stand steady when they waver. Your consistency will rebuild trust. Your faithfulness will restore hope. And in the process, your own foundation will be strengthened. There may be moments when their pain feels heavy. Do not carry it alone. Give it back to God. You were never meant to replace Him. You were meant to reflect Him. Presence does not require perfection. It requires availability. And you have already said yes. Right now, something is being recorded in the spiritual realm. A decision, an alignment, a willingness. Your name is being associated with obedience. And where obedience is recorded, favor follows, provision follows, protection follows. You are stepping into a higher level of spiritual authority, not through title, but through service. Let this settle into your spirit. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are exactly where you need to be for this moment to unfold. The breakthrough you have been praying for is not separate from this assignment. It is connected to it. As you help restore someone else, restoration will begin in you. So move forward with confidence. Not in yourself, but in the one who sent you. Trust that what feels small is powerful. Trust that what feels ordinary is anointed. Trust that obedience, even when quiet, carries eternal weight. This is not the end of something. It is the beginning of alignment. And everything that follows will make sense because you chose to respond when heaven called.